Commitment is not a word we speak, it is a life we choose. It is the invisible line that separates those who dream from those who achieve. Everybody wants success, but few are willing to commit to the process that builds it. Commitment is the bridge between intentions and reality, it is what turns potential into power. You see, talent can give you a good start, but only commitment will carry you to the finish line. The world is full of people who begin with passion and excitement, but when the road gets rough, when things don't go as planned, they fall away. True commitment is tested in difficulty, not in comfort. It is easy to say you are dedicated when life is smooth. But commitment shows its face when everything inside you says, quit, and yet you say, I'm staying. Commitment is the bridge between dreams and achievement. Every person dreams of doing something great, of leaving a mark, of building a life filled with purpose and meaning. But a dream without commitment is only a wish. It fades with time, lost among distractions and excuses. Commitment is what separates those who talk about success from those who live it. It is the force that transforms imagination into reality, the decision to stay the course no matter how long the journey takes. Many people begin with excitement, full of energy and hope, but somewhere along the path, they lose focus. The challenges seem too big, the results too slow, and the motivation begins to fade. This is where commitment becomes the bridge that carries you forward. It is not about feelings or mood, it is about a firm decision that says, I will not stop until I get there. Commitment demands that you anchor your life to your vision. You must become loyal to your purpose even when it seems invisible. There will be moments when your progress feels too small to matter, when no one recognizes your effort, and when quitting looks easier than continuing. But commitment whispers in your ear, reminding you why you started. It gives strength when inspiration runs out. It is not fueled by applause or reward but by the belief that what you are doing matters. Dreams are fragile in the hands of the uncommitted, but they grow powerful in the heart of those who refuse to let go. Every great achievement the world has ever seen was born from commitment. It is the invisible ingredient behind every success story. Talent alone is not enough, intelligence alone cannot sustain you. Without commitment, potential remains untapped. The world doesn't reward what you start, it rewards what you finish. Commitment gives you the endurance to keep moving when others fall away. It gives you the courage to face rejection, failure, and doubt without losing direction. It is not about how fast you move but how firmly you stay. The bridge between where you are and where you want to be is built one step at a time, and every step is a choice to stay committed. Commitment also requires clarity. You must know what you are building before you can dedicate yourself to it. When your purpose is clear, your persistence becomes natural. You stop looking for shortcuts and start embracing the process. The committed understand that growth takes time, that greatness requires patience, and that results are the outcome of consistent effort. When you are committed, you no longer need motivation to act. You act because it has become who you are. Commitment turns discipline into instinct and effort into excellence. It doesn't ask for the easiest path but for the right one. It doesn't wait for perfect conditions but moves forward despite the storm. And though the journey may be long and demanding, it is commitment that keeps you walking when everything else says stop. True commitment is tested in difficulty, not in comfort. Anyone can be dedicated when things are easy, when success is visible, and when everything seems to fall into place. But the real measure of commitment appears when the path becomes rough, when the results don't match the effort, and when the applause goes silent. Difficulty reveals what comfort hides. It exposes whether your dedication is real or conditional. When obstacles come, the uncommitted look for excuses, but the truly committed search for solutions. They understand that every challenge is an invitation to grow stronger. Comfort never builds character, it only keeps you where you are. It is in the struggle, in the pressure, in the discomfort that your real strength and purpose are discovered. When the storms of life rise, when doors close and progress slows, that's when commitment speaks the loudest. It is easy to stay motivated when everything is working, but the true test comes when nothing seems to work at all. The committed person doesn't let circumstances decide their direction. They keep their eyes on the goal, even when the road disappears beneath them. They understand that pain is not punishment, it is preparation. Every great dream will face resistance because resistance builds resilience. Without difficulty, there can be no depth. Without struggle, there can be no strength. Commitment is what keeps your hands steady when everything around you shakes. In times of difficulty, many people shrink back because they expect progress to be comfortable. They forget that every vision worth having will demand endurance. The committed mind knows that the process may be longer than expected, that success may take more effort than imagined, and that failure may visit more than once. Yet still, they refuse to quit. They use every setback as a lesson and every obstacle as an opportunity. The harder it gets, the deeper their resolve becomes. Difficulty doesn't break them, it builds them. It refines their purpose and sharpens their focus. They understand that gold is purified by fire, and purpose is strengthened by trials. Comfort is deceptive, it whispers lies of safety and ease. It convinces people to stay where it's warm, to settle for what's known. But commitment requires courage to leave comfort behind. It calls you to keep walking even when the path is unclear, to keep believing even when the evidence is missing. In the furnace of hardship, your commitment becomes real. It is there that you learn perseverance, humility, and gratitude. It is there that your vision is tested and your willpower is proven. The storms of life are not meant to destroy your commitment but to deepen it. When everything inside you says stop and you still choose to move forward, that is when you know your commitment is genuine. That is when you begin to understand that difficulty is not your enemy, it is the very ground on which your destiny is built. Consistency builds character, discipline creates destiny. Every successful life is shaped not by what is done once, but by what is done daily. Consistency is the quiet power behind greatness. It is the habit of showing up, again and again, even when the mood has faded and the excitement is gone. Many people start strong, full of enthusiasm and vision, but they fade when results take longer than expected. Consistency separates those who wish from those who win. It is not about perfection, it is about persistence. Each day you stay consistent, you build strength that cannot be shaken by circumstance. You create a rhythm of progress that eventually turns into momentum. The small things done repeatedly create the foundation for the big victories the world sees later. Discipline is the twin force of consistency. It is what keeps you aligned with your goals when distractions surround you. Discipline doesn't ask what you feel like doing, it directs you toward what must be done. It is the muscle of the mind, trained through repetition, refined through resistance. Every time you choose focus over comfort, every time you choose action over excuses, you strengthen your discipline. Over time, discipline becomes a way of life, and what once required effort becomes second nature. People admire the results of discipline, but few are willing to live by its demands. Discipline is not glamorous, it is gritty, steady, and quiet. But it is in that quiet repetition that destiny takes shape. Consistency builds character because it forces you to face yourself. It reveals your habits, your mindset, your patience, and your endurance. When you keep showing up, you learn who you really are. You learn that success isn't born in big moments, it's built in the unseen hours of dedication. Every day you stay true to the process, you become a little stronger, a little wiser, and a little more confident. The world may not notice your daily effort, but time always rewards the consistent. Character is not built through words, it is built through habits. It's in doing what you said you would do long after the mood has passed. Discipline creates destiny because it keeps you moving in the right direction even when emotion pulls you elsewhere. Emotion is temporary, but discipline is stable. It doesn't depend on how you feel, it depends on who you choose to be. Destiny is not a matter of luck or chance, it is the sum of your disciplined decisions. Every choice to stay committed, every sacrifice for growth, every small act of focus moves you closer to the life you were meant to live. Over time, discipline molds your future, and consistency keeps you aligned with it. When you combine the two, you become unstoppable. You become someone who doesn't just chase greatness but lives it. Because consistency and discipline together don't just create success, they create a version of you that success cannot ignore. Commitment demands sacrifice, not convenience. True commitment is not proven when things are easy. It is proven when you are willing to give up comfort, pleasure, or personal ease for the sake of something greater. Many people want success, but they want it without cost. They want achievement without effort, recognition without responsibility, and results without discipline. But commitment is a covenant. It requires something from you. It demands time, energy, focus, and persistence. It means choosing purpose over pleasure, growth over comfort, and long-term gain over short-term satisfaction. Convenience says, do it when it feels right, but commitment says, do it because it's right. The difference between those who reach their goals and those who only dream about them lies in what they are willing to sacrifice. The path to any meaningful goal will always require a price. It might be the sacrifice of sleep, comfort, or leisure. It might be walking away from distractions or saying no to things that don't align with your purpose. The committed understand that every yes to success requires a no to something else. They realize that you cannot hold on to comfort and growth at the same time. Every sacrifice becomes an investment in your future. It is a declaration that what you want most is more important than what you want now. Those who are committed see beyond the moment, they think long-term. They know that convenience produces mediocrity, but sacrifice produces greatness. Sacrifice also tests the sincerity of your purpose. When challenges arise, and the excitement fades, it is sacrifice that keeps you grounded. It reminds you that the journey was never meant to be easy, but it was meant to be worth it. Every champion has a history of sacrifices that no one saw. Behind every victory are countless decisions to keep going when others stopped. Commitment doesn't ask what's comfortable, it asks what's necessary. It's waking up early when your body says sleep, studying when your mind says rest, training when your strength feels gone. Every sacrifice strengthens your will, shapes your character, and deepens your hunger for what you truly desire. Convenience, on the other hand, is the enemy of progress. It convinces you to take shortcuts, to avoid discomfort, to stay where it's safe. But nothing extraordinary is born from convenience. Every great story, every great achievement, every great life came from someone who chose sacrifice over ease. Commitment teaches you to delay gratification, to trust the process, and to stay focused when rewards seem distant. The moment you stop chasing convenience and start embracing sacrifice, you unlock a level of power and clarity that few ever experience. Sacrifice transforms your mindset. It takes you from wishing to working, from hoping to doing. It's the fuel that keeps the fire of purpose alive when everything else fades. Without sacrifice, commitment is just a word. With it, it becomes the foundation on which all greatness stands. Success belongs to those who stay when others quit. The world remembers not the ones who started the race, but the ones who finished it. Many people begin with passion and excitement, but when challenges come, when progress slows, when expectations aren't met, they turn back. True success is not about how fast you start but how strong you endure. It is not talent that makes a person unstoppable, it is endurance. The committed understand that setbacks, delays, and disappointments are part of the journey. They don't run from the struggle, they rise within it. When others walk away, they choose to stay. Staying doesn't mean standing still, it means refusing to give up no matter what the conditions are. When life becomes difficult and the dream seems distant, quitting begins to look reasonable. The mind whispers that it's too hard, that maybe it wasn't meant to be. But those who achieve greatness are the ones who silence that voice and keep moving forward. They stay when motivation fades, when the support disappears, and when the world seems against them. They know that success is not a straight path but a winding road filled with lessons. Every fall teaches something valuable, every obstacle shapes resilience, and every delay tests commitment. Quitting may bring temporary relief, but staying brings lasting reward. The ones who stay understand that the process of growth often feels like failure. Progress is not always visible, and success is not always immediate. There will be times when you question your purpose, when effort seems wasted, when no one believes in you. But success begins to form in those invisible seasons when you keep showing up despite the silence. Staying teaches you to rely not on outcomes but on principles. It builds an inner strength that cannot be taken away. The journey tests your patience, your willpower, and your faith, but staying refines them all. The longer you hold on, the clearer your purpose becomes. Those who stay learn to find meaning in the struggle. They understand that every challenge is shaping something inside them that success alone cannot teach. Staying builds endurance, and endurance builds greatness. Most people quit because they focus on how far they have to go instead of how far they have come. The ones who stay shift their focus. They see every step as progress, every day as a victory. They understand that storms don't last forever, and that persistence always wins in the end. Success is not promised to the strongest or the smartest, it belongs to the most determined. It belongs to those who keep pushing, keep believing, and keep building even when no one is watching. The ones who stay become the example that others follow. They become proof that staying power is greater than starting power, that perseverance outlasts talent, and that true success is earned by those who simply refuse to quit. Life rises only to the level of your commitment. Everything you experience, everything you achieve, and everything you become is a reflection of how deeply you are committed to it. People often wonder why some individuals seem to rise higher, reach further, and accomplish more while others remain stuck in the same place. The difference is never luck, it's the level of commitment. Life does not give you what you wish for, it gives you what you work for, what you are willing to sacrifice for, and what you refuse to give up on. The height of your success will always mirror the depth of your dedication. When your commitment is shallow, your results will be temporary. When your commitment runs deep, your results will be unshakable. Commitment is like gravity, it pulls everything in your life toward your purpose. When you are fully committed, you attract opportunities, people, and experiences that align with your goals. But when you are half-hearted, life mirrors that hesitation. The universe rewards certainty, not confusion. Every time you hesitate, you delay your progress. Every time you doubt your path, you weaken your power. Commitment gives clarity. It allows you to move with direction instead of drifting aimlessly. You stop chasing everything and start focusing on the one thing that truly matters. When you commit, distractions lose their grip because your vision becomes stronger than your circumstances. Your commitment determines how you respond to adversity. Those with weak commitment give up when things get tough. Those with strong commitment adapt, adjust, and continue. Commitment transforms challenges into stepping stones. It teaches you to see failure not as a dead end but as a detour. It keeps your focus forward when everything around you says turn back. Every dream will test your commitment before it rewards your effort. Life asks, how badly do you want it? And your actions, not your words, answer that question. The greater your commitment, the more willing you are to keep going through pain, loneliness, and doubt. The moment you decide there is no plan B, your potential begins to unfold. Commitment also shapes identity. What you commit to consistently becomes who you are. If you commit to excellence, you become excellent. If you commit to discipline, you become dependable. If you commit to mediocrity, you stay ordinary. Commitment is the foundation upon which your future stands. It builds integrity, strengthens faith, and develops resilience. The more you commit to something meaningful, the more your life gains direction and purpose. Everything great begins with one decision: to give your all, no matter the cost. The energy you give to your commitment returns to you multiplied. It's a principle of life that cannot be broken. When you give half, you get half. When you give all, you get more than you ever imagined. Life always meets you at the level of your commitment, and every time you choose to stay devoted, you raise the ceiling of what's possible for you.